Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole with Made from Scrap, and today we're going to do a tutorial on making a little mini crate. Now I used a die for this from my stash, but I'm going to show you how to create a pattern or just go ahead and cut out from cardstock or your designer paper. So what I want to do is make sure that I show you that essentially you're going to have two pieces and they're going to be mirror images of each other. So why this is important is when you want to use decorative paper and there's a pattern on it, you want to be cognizant of that so that you can cut out the two pieces. So let's go ahead and get started. We have two pieces that both measure 5.5 inches wide by 4 3/4 of an inch long. And here are the instructions that we're going to be using for today, if you want to take a quick snapshot of that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with our first piece, and this is going to be scored with the 5.5 inches at the top, at 1.5 inches, and then at 5 inches, and then we're going to do a quarter turn to the left or counterclockwise, and then you're going to have your 3 1/4 inch measurement at the top of your scoreboard, and we're going to go ahead and score at 1/4 of an inch and 1 3/4 of an inch. That's your first piece, and when you are done scoring that, you might want to make a mark down here in the bottom right hand corner. That piece is going to be cut off from this one, and that will help you know which is which. So that's our first one. Then you're going to take your second piece and place it in your scoreboard again with the 5.5 inches at the top, and we're going to go ahead and score that at 1/2 inch and 4 inches. And then again you're going to do a 1/4 inch turn to the left, so that you have the 3 1/4 inches at the top for your measurement, and you're going to score it at 1/4 inch, and then at 1 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then what you're going to want to do is probably mark out the top right hand corner of your second piece. So when you put them back, you have your X's in the opposite lower right hand corners of your now new pieces. So let's go ahead and do some folding real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to get my cutter, and what I want to make sure to tell you is that this section right here next to the X, on the inside of the X in both pieces, is going to be your bottom section. So we're going to be cutting slits in our project, similar to this, across like this to make it look like a crate. And we're going to do that on the sections that are not the bottom and obviously not the X. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take one of our pieces and we're going to call this, I'll say this is A, okay, and I'll call this one B. So on our A piece, I'm going to put that in my cutter with the edge of my project at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to place this at 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to place my blade down at the 1 inch mark. So I need to turn my cutter around so I can use it this way. So let me go ahead and do that again. I'm going to place my edge, this is next to the 1/4 inch score, at 3/4 of an inch, okay? And then I'm going to place my blade down at 1 inch. Is that right, Nicole? Yep, and I'm going to slice back to 1/2 inch. That's the first cut. Then I'm gonna scoot my paper over just 1/8 of an inch, just ever so slightly 1/8 of an inch. So you're gonna be closer, your blade is gonna be closer to that 1/4 inch score, and you're gonna place your blade back down at that 1/2 inch and cut it to 1 inch. You're gonna end up with 1/8 of an inch cut, like this. Okay, just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and scoot my paper back over so that I can make the rest of my slits. And what I'm gonna do is move that over to the 1 inch mark. And I'm gonna place my blade back down at 1 inch here and cut back to 1/2 inch. And it's just gonna be a slit ever so, just a very hair in width. And each time I'm gonna cut these at 1/2 inch. So you're gonna slide it over again, another 1/4 inch. And you're gonna place your blade back down, at 1/2 inch and cut it back to 1 inch. Scoot it over just a hair, place it back down and cut that out. So let me show you what I've ended up with, just like that. The other way that you can do this is with your ruler and of course your straight blade. So what I'm gonna do is just cut these little pieces out just like this. So I'm gonna end up with that, cut that out, and I'm gonna cut that out. Just like that. You have that first section of crate. So take this, I'm just cutting a couple of strips out. Just like that. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to show you, you're going to cut out these sections that are the X. So you can use your cutter or you can use your straight blade. I'm just going to cut that out. Okay. And then you're also going to cut from this, on the 1/4 inch side, you're going to cut down to the 1/4 inch. And then you're going to turn this and you're going to slice this the rest of the way off. This little 1/4 inch. Just like that. So this is what you end up with, like this so far. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is cut this off at an angle. Like this, and like this. I didn't cut that one all the way through. Like that, the corners. And now at this score line right here, I'm gonna go ahead and trim that off. Just like that. So now I have this. And this top flap right here, I'm going to go ahead and cut down in half. Just like that. And that's our finished piece. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing with this this B piece. Okay, except I want to go ahead and cut the slits as well. So here's what I'm going to do. You can use your cutter or your ruler. And these I kind of just use my mat to align the paper so that it's straight. Let me back you up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to align my ruler edge with these two slits right here. I'm gonna leave a little space, about a 1/2 inch from, let me get this scoot down, from the score mark, and I'm using my ruler here as well. Let me get that straight. And I'm just gonna cut this down to a 1/2 inch before that next score. Okay. And you're just taking out a little tiny slit. Just like that. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing all over again. Just like that. Take that little slit piece out. Okay. You can even do that one more time. Here. The thing is, you don't even have to worry about making this very straight. Because it can be a rustic crate as well. So that's why we don't really worry about it too much. We're just cutting out the slits. Okay. Now I'm going to do this in reverse for piece B. Let me zoom out a little bit for you. For piece B, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out this X, that square right there. I don't think I cut out enough. Okay, then I'm going to cut out this piece right here. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to cut these corners off. I'm right-handed, so I got to turn it around upside down for you all. Fold it like this and cut that off. And then this top section is what we want to slit in half. Like that. And now we're going to cut our pieces, so you can turn this over and mark it if you like. That way you're only doing the measuring with the first one, and you can just use it gently as a pattern. Pull it off a little bit. If you don't trust yourself, you can use a pencil or something and do it that way first, but I'm just cutting through these. Okay, take that off and trim down the edges. Pop it out. Just a little tiny slit. Okay. And that's it for our two pieces. Let me turn turn them over just like that. We have our bottom A, bottom B. Now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some distress ink on mine really quickly. Okay, now we're gonna take our two pieces that we have, and I've went ahead and inked them up. And I'm gonna go ahead and use these opposite. So what did I do? So I inked the wrong side. Oopsies. Okay, sorry. Let me go ahead and ink this up real quick. Okay, now I've inked it up. Let's see. And now I'm gonna place these, the bottoms together, okay, so that I have them able to glue just like this, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my glue. I'm gonna place my glue down on the bottom, and then I'm gonna put these on top of each other, just like so. And now I'm gonna turn in these two flaps. Go ahead and place glue there. And I'm gonna fold these up like this so that it's 90 degrees. Hold that for a second, and then pull your side in as well. And just give that a little pinch, just so that that glue can take hold, that's all. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with this other side. I'm going to place the glue on that little flap and then pull that corner in and hold that so the glue takes right there. Just a little pinch, hold it for a second. Okay, and just like that, you have your little rustic crate. And you can take some little paper shred. I used my Distress Oxide spray. This is Rustic Wilderness. Went ahead and sprayed it, let it dry, shot it with some water, let it dry, and then you have your colored Easter grass or just grass, whatever you want to use. Okay, I cut out some Easter eggs, little Easter eggs, and a little bunny die, and just like that. Nice little place setting. You can put a name on there, or just put some little candies in there, wrap it up in a little cellophane bag, and how cute is that for Easter? So I hope you all have enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to your project soon. Make sure you use that Artisan Cardstock. This one that I was using is the very light gray, and then I have white on top here for this little cute bunny. The white Artisan also takes the distress color very good for the sprays. So just play around with what you have, and I hope to see you back here soon. Until next time, everyone, happy crafting, you all. Bye.